Over the past decades, the technological progress has brought Russia, the United States, and China to a new level of development of the armed forces. Now these countries compete for the title of supremacy in the air arena. And recently, China announced they're building the next generation jet fighter, and they'll show their first prototype at the military exhibition CNTE in 2021. So, should the USA be worried? And what kind of fighter is it? Let's figure it out. As an advanced multi-role stealth fighter, it's speculated that the J-20 can fulfill both air-to-air and air-to-ground combat roles for the People's Liberation Army Air Force, PLAF, and the aviation branch of the People's Liberation Army Navy, referred to as either Naval Aviation or the Plan AF. The J-20 will enhance the overall combat capability of China's Air Force. In 2014, the U.S.-China Economic and Security Review Commission described the J-20 as more advanced than any other fighter currently deployed by Asia-Pacific countries. The J-20 is equipped with subsystems and field signature reduction technology that collectively meet the internationally accepted classification of a fifth-generation aircraft. This refers to military aircraft featuring the general requirements of stealth technology, supersonic cruising speed, and highly integrated avionics. The J-20 is the first Chinese aircraft to fit this description, and it may serve as a critical asset for both the Air Force and the Navy. The other aircraft is the Shenyang FC-31, a smaller multi-role stealth fighter that is being developed by the Shenyang Aircraft Corporation. The two Chinese stealth fighters may have been designed to complement each other in a similar manner to the planned deployment of the F-22 and F-35 by the United States. At present, China and the US are the only two countries that have concurrent stealth fighter programs. The J-31 will be inducted as a carrier-based naval fighter. In an interview with China's state-run media, the J-31's chief designer, Sun Kong, expressed that the aircraft would follow the J-15 onto China's aircraft carriers. However, officials from AVIC only said that the aircraft was intended for export as a competitor to the F-35. There has also been reports that the plan has urged Shenyang to develop a carrier-compatible version of the J-31. In 2015, Jiangsu A-Star Aviation Industries Company marketed its EOTS-86 infrared search and track as a possible addition to the J-31. An improved prototype with modifications to the vertical stabilizers, wings, and airframe, an electro-optical targeting system, a larger payload, improvements in stealth, and upgraded electronics made its maiden flight in December 2016. In June 2020, reports surfaced that a third variant of FC-31, albeit a more production-ready version with smoother lines, bigger radome for bigger radar, and a closer alignment of control surfaces for reduced radar signature, has been developed. The new fighter has been referred to by some as J-35. The PLAF views stealth technology as a core capability in its transformation from a predominantly territorial air force to one capable of conducting both offensive and defensive operations. U.S. military and industry officials believe that once the J-31 enters service, it'll likely be more than a match for existing fourth-generation fighters like the F-15 Eagle, F-16 Fighting Falcon, and F/A-18EF Super Hornet. They suggest that the capability of the J-31 against the newest fighters, such as the US F-22 and F-35, would depend on factors such as numbers of platforms, quality of pilots, and capabilities of radars and other sensors. Some of China's neighbors are pursuing the development of their own fifth-generation aircraft, i.e. India with their HAL AMCA, Pakistan with their AZM, Japan with the Mitsubishi X2, and South Korea with the Kai KF-X, or are considering purchasing the F-35 or Su-57. Vladimir Barkovsky of Russian Aircraft Corporation MiG has stated that, despite some design flaws, the J-31 looks like a good machine. Although it contains features already in use on the US fifth-generation fighter designs, it is not a copy but a well-done indigenous design. Department of Defense. According to General David L. Goldfein, Chief of Staff of the U.S. Air Force, information-age fighters like the J-20 are designed to link into national defense networks, which enables these cutting-edge fighters to access real-time information supplied by satellites and unmanned air vehicles, UAVs. As a result, the J-20, like the F-35, should be assessed as part of a family of systems instead of a standalone aircraft. A revolutionary, cognition-subverting next-generation fighter jet characterized by long-range, high capabilities and penetration, awareness, firepower, and fast decision-making is about to come into being amid great power competition, according to a recent paper by the chief designer of China's J-20 stealth fighter jet. Artificial intelligence is a key field to help pilots process vast information and make decisions in complicated battlefield environments, it said. Amid great power competition and the commissioning of more and more fourth-generation fighter jets, or fifth-generation under U.S. classification, which includes China's J-20, U.S.'s F-22 and F-35, there have been extensive discussions on the changes in types of warfare and the development of post-fourth-generation fighter jets, said Yang Wei of Aviation Industry Corporation of China, AVIC, in a paper published in Acta Aeronautica et Astronautica Sinica, a Chinese monthly journal on aeronautics, last month. Yang is the chief designer of China's first fourth-generation fighter jet, the J-20. In the paper, Yang said that in older generations of fighter jets, maneuverability used to be the deciding factor. But this concept is becoming outdated with the development of advanced medium-range air-to-air missiles with their beyond visual range attack capabilities. Information has now become the deciding factor as modern fighter jets focus on gaining more information with the help of AESA radars and data chains, while also reducing opponents' ability to gain information, including using stealth technology and electronic countermeasures. When aircraft can get more information with these advanced devices, pilots must have extensive knowledge, sharp analysis, and sound decision-making to put them to use. Yang said artificial intelligence will help pilots process the information and help them become mission objective-oriented. Each step in the original Observe, Orient, Decide Act (OODA) loop in the air combat decision-making process will feature artificial intelligence's assistance, the paper said. Intelligence becoming the deciding factor will be the essence of what Yang calls an OODA 3.0. Citing foreign projects, Yang said that a future fighter jet will generally require a longer combat range, longer endurance, stronger stealth capability, a larger load of air-to-air and air-to-surface weapons, and the functionality to provide its pilots with easy-to-understand battlefield situation images and predictions. In an integrated system, the aircraft should be able to form a network, draw real-time integrated situational images, create multiple attack routes, and transmit target information across mission areas in real time. Yang's vision could indicate what China's future fighter jet might be like, a Chinese military expert told the Global Times on Monday under the condition of anonymity. Usually, the Chinese military simultaneously equips a current generation of weapons, develops a next generation, and conducts pre-study on a further generation at the same time. So as J-20s are being commissioned into the Chinese Air Force, the next generation fighter jet must have already started development, the expert said. China is eyeing to develop a next-generation fighter jet by 2035 or earlier, which could feature laser, adaptive engines, and the ability to command drones, reports in early 2019 quoted Wang Heifeng, another senior designer at AVIC, who participated in the development of the J-20 and J-10 fighter jets, as saying, China vs. USA. The defense community is closely watching the developments in the U.S. sixth-generation fighter program called Next Generation Air Dominance, NGAD. Developing the type could be of paramount importance for the U.S. to maintain its tech superiority in the field, with China rapidly catching up. The USAF has already flown a full-scale demonstrator of its futuristic NGAD fighter jet last September, and it is already concerned over its rivals closing the gap. Speaking to reporters on February 26, USAF Air Combat Command Head General Mark Kelly said, I, for one, am confident that the technology and the test points have developed to where NGAD technology will get fielded. And I'm confident that the adversaries on the other end of this technology will suffer a very tough day, and tough week, and tough war. What I don't know, and we're working with our great partners, is if our nation will have the courage and the focus to field this capability before someone like the Chinese fields it and uses it against us. What is NGAD? The U.S. Air Force is working on its highly secret sixth-generation fighter jet under the Next Generation Air Dominance (NGAD) program, which will be a step above the fifth-generation F-35s with futuristic technologies. The prototype was even flown in September and is said to have broken records, the Eurasian Times reported earlier. No further details of the fighter are known at the moment. There is speculation that it will possess improved stealth capability and incredible speeds. However, it could take more than a decade for the 6th-generation fighter jet to become a reality. There is a reason for the US to get worried, given that China is also developing its 6th-generation aircraft. An ANI report quoted Wang Haifeng, chief designer at China's Chengdu Aircraft Research and Design Bureau, as saying that it would be ready by 2035. Kelly didn't comment about the timeline and the stage at which the US's NGAD program is currently in, and neither did he reveal the number of prototypes built so far. It's a keen focus, a keen capability, Kelly said. We just need to make sure we keep our narrative up and articulate the biggest benefit we've had as a nation, to have leading-edge technology ensuring we have air superiority for the nation and the joint force. The U.S. Air Force was the first Air Force in the world to have commissioned a 5th-generation fighter jet, the F-22 Raptor, nearly 15 years ago. The jet is even out of production now, with the focus being directed on the upgrade of the existing fleet and its replacement by the single-engine F-35 Lightning II. But the Pentagon is still worried about giving the go-ahead for F-35's serial production. In contrast, China has scaled up its production of the J-20 Stealth fighter, which was inducted into the PLA Air Force in 2017, the same year the US began deploying its F-35s in Japan. It is believed the number of J-20s produced so far will be 60 to 70. There are also reports that Chengdu Aerospace Corporation, CAC, set up a 4th J-20 production line in 2019, each line able to produce 1 fighter per month. At this rate, the J-20 should approach the total production numbers of the American F-22 by 2027. This would amount to at least 200 fighters, making it the world's 2nd most common stealth fighter behind the F-35, according to the ANI report. Is it better to focus on tomorrow's technology when considering 5th or 6th generation jet fighter planes?